Welcome back, my beauties, and welcome if you're new. My name is Sheena, and if you're tuned in right now, please hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into today's set. So today's set is an acrylic set, and I've done all the normal prep off camera. So I went ahead and pushed back her cuticles. I went around the cuticle with a needle drill bit to remove any dead skin, roughed up the surface of her natural nail with a fine grit sanding band just to give the nails some scratches and something for the product to hold on to. I then went in with Macard's dehydrator and 2 coats of the Young Nails Protein Bond, and then a layer of base coat. With a layer of base coat, I cured on these jelly tips. So we're using Kiara Sky's medium stiletto and long coffin today. And I'm going to take my Savon clear and just put a thin coat over the base of the nail to start. Also, before starting in with the clear acrylic, I did go ahead and use my fine grit sanding band to rough up the surface of this tip as well. For this particular video, I would like to shout out my girl Naturally Nay for being the first to comment on my last video. I overly appreciate you, and I know you know that. Thank you so much for your support. So on that pinky nail, I did apply a little bit too much because I'm just trying to put a thin coat of the clear acrylic on, just kind of like for extra strength and support, because it's a full covered tip, so it's not like it's going to mess up or stain her nail if I was to go in with the color. But I do feel like it gives it a layer of like thickness and strength when I do go on with the clear, because the clear is the strongest of acrylics. So I always do just do this as a first step. But I wanted it thin. I mean, the nail still stayed thin. It didn't get thick or anything. It's just that I noticed that the first bead on that pinky was a little bit big. But as you see here, I'm going in on the rest of his nails with just one very thin bead, just to cover up the base of the nail. So now I'm taking this white acrylic from a Model 1's kit that I purchased, and I'm going in and just laying a bead of that more towards my free edge. And then I make sure also to keep that shape of the nail itself when I'm laying down the acrylic. So I am very new to acrylic. This is maybe like my 4th video with it. I might have done more, but I'm very new to it. So just trying to get some practice in on it. So I'm starting, like I said, with that first bead down towards the free edge. I'm just going to kind of pat that onto the nail and smooth that out until I'm satisfied, and then I'll go in with my next bead. So I'm trying to do the 3-bead method that I've seen so many do, because it does look like a very easy approach when doing acrylic nails. So I'm going in with my second bead right above the first one and doing the same thing, basically, of making sure to keep the shape of the nail tip itself and just smooth out the acrylic, making sure there's like no bulky pieces in it, and then I'll move on to my next bead. So for my third and final bead on this nail, I try to place it just like a hairline away from the cuticle, and then I do wipe off my brush, dip back into the monomer, and then just kind of pat that up towards the cuticle. Now this part for me with this particular acrylic is a little difficult. I don't know if it's the acrylic itself or what, but it just didn't seem to be working out for me with the Model 1's acrylic itself. I do have a Mia Secret acrylic I practice with from time to time, and that one is a little more smoother. This one, I don't know, like I said, maybe it's the monomer, because the monomer I'm using is the monomer from Couture. And then of course I have this Model 1's white acrylic, and then the brush I'm using is a number 8 from the Long Hair Pretty Nails store. So I'm not sure if it's the monomer or the acrylic itself, but I did have kind of like a tough time with the cuticle. You see me going in again with another bead, just trying not to get it on her skin, but to get it close enough so that it looks nice and precise. Making sure to keep those sides wiped. And then I just move on. I'll fix it later. I'm not going to show the whole application of the white because I feel like it's pretty repetitious. I'm just doing 3 beads at the most. Maybe I might do 4, but I'm doing 3 beads at the most. And then I did switch brushes here to an acrylic brush. I got it in a set from a cart. It's a number 10. It's very thin for a number 10 because I thought as the number goes up, the thicker the brush is. But on this brush, it actually does say acrylic brush and a number 10. And this one is a little more comfortable. I also noticed like when I was going in to pick up the beads that they were like getting stuck in the monomer. So if you have any tips on that to let me know why they're like getting stuck in the, excuse me, not the monomer, but the acrylic dish itself. Like it was formulating beads in the dish, but they weren't getting picked up on the brush. And I left on quite a lot of monomer at times just to kind of see the difference, and it was still doing that. But nonetheless, I did get this set done and it turned out pretty good. So once I get all of the acrylic set, I do file shape and buff off camera. And now we're going to go in with the nail art portion of this design. So we'll be using this red from Model 1's called Midsummer Rose, and also black from that same kit by the name of Black Lava. I've used that a few times on my channel. I'm really into nail art, so I do always try to incorporate it in videos because I'm pretty interested. So we did switch the colors. She's showing me there what she wants, and we switched the colors. Instead of doing black and pink, she did black and red. And I'm just getting my nail palette ready here to start going in with the nail art. So to start the design, we're going in on her pinky, and I'm just making black lines horizontally across the nail all the way down to the tip. And then with this nail, it turned out really cute, but I felt like I did it a little backwards. So for the nail, if you saw the picture, it's like stripes down the nail, and there is a pink heart on the nail. And maybe their pink was a little more pigmented. The red is okay, but what I noticed is once I put the lines down first and then went in with the heart, the red was like not overpowering the black enough, so you could still see the black lines through it. But it did come out cute still. But this is like my favorite here. This is so therapeutic for me, just doing these lines across the nail. Once I got them all set, I had her cure for 30 seconds. So now I'm going in with my same nail art brush, which is a McCart nail art brush number 1. And I'm taking the red polish and I am just going to be drawing a heart onto the nail. And then of course I will fill that in and she'll cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. I actually forgot when I did initially draw this heart, I did not like how it came out, so I used some isopropyl alcohol and I just wiped it completely off of the nail, and then I went in and tried again, and then the second time is a charm because I did go ahead and like the second one, and then at that point I had her cure for 30 seconds. So on a ring finger, I'm going in with a half of a heart with that red. And so basically you just want to make one half of a heart on the nail. And once I get that set, I'm trying to make an outline of an eyeball as well on the nail. And then around that outline of the eyeball, I do go in and just fill all that in with the red, and then she'll cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. So I would like to take this time, as always, to thank anyone who has taken the time to watch any one of my videos. It is greatly appreciated, and watching it to the end does actually help me out quite a lot. To my subscribers, I do appreciate and love you oh so much, and I thank you for your continued support. So now on her middle finger, you see me here trying to line up the two fingers so that the heart matches, and I'm just making the other side of that heart. And I just like continue to put her fingers together to make sure that when she does put her fingers together, it looks like an actual heart. So we're just doing the other side of that, and then we're going to do the same thing once that's set as far as going in and creating an eye. On this one, I kind of messed up on the eye a little bit, so I had to do a little bit of tweaking. It ended up coming out okay, and we were just making a joke to say it was like a red irritated eye a little bit, but it still came out really, really cute. So basically, like I said, I'm going to set the eye. We're going to go ahead and fill in the background of that, and then after I fill in the background, the eye portion was a bit small, so I did take a brush that I would use for a cleanup and just kind of try to fix the shape of the eye. And then what I ended up doing was going in and just kind of, after I cured, outlining it really good for the eyeball portion, or excuse me, before I cured, but I went in and I just like really outlined the eye area very, very good, and it ended up turning out pretty good. And then with my brush, I did go ahead and make a dot in between both of the eyes just to make it as the eye. And then you see me here doing my outline on that finger just to bring that out a little bit more. And then I'll have her cure for 30 seconds. So on our index, I'm going to take that black lava and I'm going to take my nail art brush and just make a line right down the center of the nail. And then on the one side of the nail, I'm going to go ahead and just use the gel polish brush from the black and just paint that whole side of the nail black. Then I'll go in with a cleanup brush, making sure to make sure the line is nice and straight. And once I have that side how I would like, I do have her cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. And I also make sure to go in with a second coat of that black to make sure that it's nice and opaque and that you can't see the white too much underneath it. So now I'm taking my nail art brush and I'm going to start with the white side, and I'm just making half of a heart with that black shade. And then of course I'm going to fill that half of heart in. And once I get that side set how I like, I do have her cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. This design was super fun to do, but she has such small nail beds, so the design was a little compact, but I overly enjoyed doing this design. So cute. So as you can see, before filling anything in, I did start on the black side with the red half of the heart, and that's just to make sure that everything kind of matched up and went together. And then I did go ahead and start to fill in so that she's able to go ahead and cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. So most times when you see pictures of nails, they don't ever show the thumb. So we kind of freestyled with it. And she went with writing out the word Converse because this design is based off a shoe from Converse, and I didn't even know, but the shoe is so freaking cute. So we did decide to go in and just write the word Converse on the thumb, and we went black red until the word was complete. And for me, this was my absolute favorite nail. I do love writing, so writing with gel polish, this was really fun. And of course, you know what I'm gonna say, I overly enjoyed this nail. And then I'm going in with a layer of Makart's top coat, and I'm just going to be top coating all of the nails. Once I get everything nice and top coated, I do have her curing the lamp for 30 seconds. And I'm not sure what happened, but I wasn't recording when I applied cuticle oil, but I did use Kiara Sky. And here's the finished set. I think the nail art was super fun and cute. I love the color combination. Let me know what you think of my nail set down below. And if you've made it this far, please consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my future sets. I thank you all so very much, and much love.